Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. It is TMK here. I know it's been quite a bit since I've uploaded, but I'm back and I'm recording my workflow for you guys. This video was requested over on Instagram, which by the way, if you haven't already followed my Instagram, I'll leave it somewhere on the screen here. Make sure you guys go hit that follow button. I would really greatly appreciate it. So if you do, thank you for that. Now that you're here, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more videos more frequently. So with that being said, today's video we're going to cover how I go through in my Lightroom, how I edit photos, how I import photos, how I export photos, and the best export settings that work for me. Pretty much an overall just workflow that works the best for me. And if any of these settings work good for you, or any of the process along the way works good for you that you find may be helpful in your situation or in your personal workflow, feel free to use it. I don't know, I'm just here to help people out. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the very first thing I do when I import photos into Lightroom is I open up the files that I'm going to be editing in my SD card. So I find those, and I'm going to be editing, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be editing some of these photos here, right? But what I like to do is say that I have a new shoot, right? Say all these red photos were my just recent shoot. I like to create a folder inside the SD card, right? We're going to go here, new folder. We're going to title these Daniel Red. And then I'm going to grab those photos, control, and drag all of those. I'm going to drag all those photos into that folder that I just created. That way when you import into Lightroom, it's a lot easier to find them as they are separated into each individual folders. We're going to drag them into that folder. Again, I've already done them for the sake of this video. I've already done to the color theory ones, but when you go out and you take photos, I recommend doing this because it does help a lot when going to find your photos into importing into Lightroom. So once I do that, I go into Lightroom. I'm still on Lightroom Classic. I just like this version a lot better. The overall handling of the app and software seems a lot better for me, so I'm just comfortable using the Lightroom Classic. But this probably can apply to the other Lightroom as well, CC. We're gonna go to File. We're gonna go into Import Photo and Video, right? You guys probably already know how to do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover it really quickly. And like I said, having that folder will make it easier to find. You're gonna select where the file is located. Like I said, there's that Daniel Red folder that I just made, and then there you go, you have all those photos. You just press import, boom, they're done, you're in, right? And that's how it makes it a lot easier. However, for this case, I'm going to be grabbing some of these and editing maybe like 2 of them. So we're gonna maybe click this one here, this one here, and then a few of these here. Once you have selected the photos that you're going to be picking, or if you're selecting all of them, just going to click import and they'll be coming right into Lightroom. We'll wait for them to import. Once they are imported, I like to go over to the develop tab. Obviously I'm going to get started on editing. What I first do, right, this is the very first thing when I go to edit a photo. I have a preset pack called TMK Runs the World, which is available for purchase. If you guys want to purchase my preset pack, you guys can shoot me a message on Instagram with the word presets in all caps, and you should receive a message automated giving you guys a link to where you can purchase them and how you can purchase them if you are interested. So I go in and I just go through the presets really fast just to see which one might be a good starting point, a foundation. Keep in mind, presets only serve as a foundation for photos, because every photo is going to have different lighting, right? Every photo is going to have a different settings, different ISO, different everything. In order to make the photo look unique, you're gonna have to make this preset only a foundation and work up from it, right? So I look through here and just see which one I think I like the best, right? Or it could be easiest to work with. I'm gonna go ahead and select TMK Teal Skies, which is one of the presets from the preset pack. I like the blues here. And then first thing I like to do is crop the image. If it needs cropped for Instagram, which is now 4x5 by 8 by 8 by 10, I go ahead and do that just to get that out of the way and get an easy crop. Now I have an Instagram size photo that I can post, right? First thing I mess with is the exposure and the contrast. I want to make sure that it's pushing the vibes that I want to get to. So just about there, that seems fine. And then I turn down the texture and the clarity. Texture can go like down, or maybe even stay, and clarity down to make that hazy look, because if you see here, If you keep it in the middle or anything above 0, it will be really crisp, really sharp. And I like to give that little hazy look. So anywhere between -50, -60 is usually what I like to stay at. Now we have a little hazy look, right? I don't really mess with the vibrance and saturation just yet. The S-curve, usually don't mess with that either. However, I do like to mess with these colors here. As you can see, we have a lot of blue hues. So if you want to change the color of those blues, you can go in here and mess with this until you get something that you may like. And again, feel free to just keep doing this until you find something that you enjoy, something that you want to work with. Most of this is already pretty much set. And then I mess with the oranges here to get a better skin tone color. Around there, we're going to turn up the saturation too a little bit on the oranges. Just a tad bit. Seems like the yellows are turned down. We're going to keep those down just for the sake of the blues in the back. And then the color grading portion. This is pretty much to add your, your touch to the photo, right? I can move this wheel around and just give it any sort of like vintage look for the hues and highlight, or for the shadows and highlights. But it's totally up to you. I'm gonna leave it as it was, because I don't think that's too bad. I like to keep my sharpening anywhere between 80, and then the detail always is like roughly around the same as the bar. So say my bar is at 50, my detail is going to be here at 35, just in shape with the bar, right? But I like to keep my bar anywhere between like 80 to 90, so we're going to put it 75, and then again, like I said, this detail will go right on the same size. I've just been used to doing that, so I keep doing that there. The luminance, I like to turn it down almost to where it's none, and then the detail we're going to put 1. This gives that face, the client's face, the model's face, it gives it that soothing look, and it makes it look a lot more just smooth face, right? The transform, I don't mess with that entirely. I like to turn the grain size down and the roughness up, and turn the amount down a little bit. And that's pretty much it there, right? Cool. It seems like everything that I do there, just a really quick walkthrough. If it needs any more minor adjustments, I go through and adjust minor details that may need to be done here in the tone curve, basic stuff, right? And then I like to go in and make sure the eyes are popping, right? It's always a big thing to me that the eyes are the main focus of the photo, regardless of what the subject is wearing, what the background is. I like to make sure that the subject's eyes are drawing attention from the viewer, because I'm a big fan of eyes, right? So as long as the eyes look pretty and the eyes look glowy, it'll give you so much more to work with. So in this case, I'm going to make sure that the tone is the same color as our eyes, and just make it pop a little bit, right? Turn the exposure up a little bit, and the blacks, we're going to turn those up just a bit to make it glow a little more. As you can see there, once they're done, we're going to press done. And it's a little too much, so we're going to turn it down just a little bit. Turn the exposure down a little bit. And then turn the blacks down just a little bit. And then we can look at the before. That is the before, and this is the after. Obviously a major difference, as you can tell. And then say the rest of your photos are something similar to this, right? We're going to go ahead and copy, Command C, Control C on your Windows keyboard if you have Windows. And then for the next image, as long as the lighting is somewhat similar, the settings are somewhat similar, you can copy and paste these settings onto whatever photos are coming up next. Again, if the similarities are enough. So we're going to paste onto this one, and as you can see, it's a little washed out on the whites. So we're going to turn the exposure down just a bit to give a little more detail in the shadows. And now we have this here. Again, I'm going to go through first things first. I'm going to crop it. Make sure that you do this Instagram crop. If you want to enter a custom crop, that's fine as well. The 4x5 is the current Instagram crop that I like to use. So I'm going to crop it there. And there we have it. Now it's cropped for Instagram. Like I said, same settings. This is just copied and paste. So go through here doing all the same stuff that I did on the first photo. Sharpening, detail all in level, luminance on 1, detail on 0 or 1. Grain and roughness with the size a little bit lower. That's all set. Again, I like to go in and mess with the eyes, make sure those are colorful, make sure those are a little bit brighter than the rest of the subject. So I'm going to go through and get the brush. Once again, just paint over the eyelid or the eye what is this part called? Iris, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. I think it's the iris. Whatever part that is called, that's what we're gonna color over once again. Turn the blacks up and make sure that it's not overly done. So right around there seems very well. Again, we're gonna save it. And if the model has some like imperfection on the face, say they were like breaking out that day and they want you to be aware that they're breaking out, you can go through, grab this brush here. It's called the spot removal. And I like to go through and just select whatever spot it is that they're feeling worried about, or maybe they're insecure about. Help them out a little bit, you know, get rid of those the breakouts that they may be having that day. And a lot of times when I shoot for people, they tell me to do the same thing, so I go through and get rid of any imperfections that I find. And this is the most tedious part about editing, is that you can take a little bit of time going through and just making these features of the face look just to your perfection, just how you like it. And you go through and select another little area here that looks a little too dark. And again, the way her face is positioned, it's not really that big of a deal because you can't really see many imperfections. So that's going to be there. If you have more, go ahead and take your time doing that. And there's that, right? There's that photo. Here's the previous photo right there. Again, you have the same overall look, the same overall theme, the same overall concept. And then with these photos, you know, you can post them as a set, post them, you know, differently, whatever it is that you wish you want to do. And they're done, right? Now that we have the photos done, we're going to go to File. You're going to select whatever photos you want exported. You're going to go to Export. Once you're in the Export tab, you're going to select which destination you want to export these photos to. So in this case, I'm just going to export to whatever folder is there. I'm not actually going to export them, but you're going to select whatever folder, whether it be your hard drive, whether it be your downloads folder, whatever folder you want to export to. Choose specific folder, and then you can go ahead and click here, and it'll allow you to choose whatever folder that is that you wanted to export. As far as the file naming, I just leave it at default. However, you can set a custom name, so say like TMK shots, and then it'll save as TMK shots.jpg. Sorry. I just leave it as untitled. If you want to change the name, you can. Feel free. As far as file settings, the quality, up the max to 100. Save it as JPEG. And then down here, I think this is defaulted at 100 resolution per pixels per inch. I think the max or the sweet spot is 300. So if you don't have it at 300, make sure you have it at 300. That'll give you the best quality for your photos once they export. And then I just leave the rest as is. I don't output sharpen for screen or anything like that. So just leave the rest as is. Go ahead and press export, and it'll export straight to your folder that you desired, right? And you'll press export. And we can just take a look here. That is what the photo looks like. And if you want, you can even press L here and you'll be able to see it in a little smaller option. That is what the photo is looking like. And with that being said, that is pretty much it for this video. That's my workflow. After this is done, I send them over to my phone. Once they're on my phone, I go through, do any sort of minor adjustments on face retouching, cropping, anything that I feel like maybe add a white border, things like that. I'll do it over on my phone really quickly before I post. And then I will go over to Instagram, think of whatever caption it is that I want to caption the photos accordingly, post a photo, and then boom, you're done, right? So that is my workflow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope some of this helped you guys. A reminder that my TMK Runs the World presets are available. Shoot me a DM on Instagram with the word presets, and it will automatically send you a response with a link and how to purchase these presets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to drop a like, guys. It would really help out a lot. Follow over on Instagram if you want to see all of my work, and I hope you guys have a great Christmas, great New Year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.